All right, this is one of two videos that I forgot to make. Um, the videos are on the two constitutional amendments that I wish to propose and put through the Congress. And this amendment is going. This video is going to cover specifically the amendment dealing with the 14th Amendment. And what it is going to be a clarification of the 14th Amendment. Right now, with DACA and a bunch of other stuff we got going on about immigration, and for years I've heard the arguments about the anchor babies and stuff like that. This is going to completely kill all of that. Okay? We're going to settle it once and for all about how this works. But in the 14th Amendment, let me give you a little history class for those of y'all who don't know or refuse to accept. The 14th Amendment was written after the Civil War to bring citizenship to all the freed slaves. How it came about was several states, after the Civil War ended and slavery was abolished, gave citizenship to freed slaves that lived within their state boundaries. Well, when they traveled out of the state to other states, there were states that opposed that, and they refused to recognize those people as citizens of the United States. So, to settle the argument, the Republicans in Congress wrote and passed the 14th Amendment with the primary purpose of mandating that all slaves, freed slaves, are now citizens of the United States. And that anybody born here is so. And that's how they had to word it, was because the slaves that were born here, that they were automatically citizens. But it gave citizenship to all the freed slaves. But it's worded to say that everybody born here. Now, there is an exception to that. And the exception deals with people who are not living here. Okay? Specifically, tourist, embassy personnel, stuff like that. If you are here temporarily working, for example, the embassy or the consulate or something like that, and while you're here, you have a child. That child is not an American citizen. It is still considered by the United States a citizen of the country for whom its parents are from. All right. And if you're here, like say for example you're a tourist, say you're from France and you have friends here that you've got to know a long time ago, and you decide to come over and visit, but the wife is pregnant, but while you're here, she happens to go in labor early. Okay, and the child's born here. Well, that doesn't make that child an American citizen. You're here visiting. You're here on vacation. So therefore, that child's not an American citizen. It's still a citizen of France. The amendment is going the adjustment to, or the clarification of the 14th Amendment is going to basically be a little more simple worded, I guess, to bring that more into focus. That any child born in the United States to an American citizen or a legal resident of the United States will automatically be an American citizen. That's going to stop a lot of these anchor baby mills. As a matter of fact, I just read something on the internet today of a huge raid and stuff in Southern California of the baby mill factory. There were like a dozen or so facilities where people, and these were people from Asia, Russia, China, stuff like that, who were brought into the country pregnant so their child could be born in the United States and have American citizenship, and that would mean that the moms had to stay here too. Okay? And I've heard about that from coming up across the southern border. People coming across the southern border do the same thing. So once this is implemented, then all that ends. Because if you're not a legal resident of the United States, in other words, if you're here illegally, if you come here specifically to have a child, but you're not a registered resident of the United States, then that child's going to be a citizen of wherever you're from. And therefore, it has nothing to hold you here. So when we kick you out, you and the baby can go together. Okay? So that's what that amendment's going to be for. Specifically for that, to clarify the 14th Amendment, to make it to where everybody understands it's only to U.S. citizens and those here legally.